Well, good evening, good morning, good afternoon. It's 6:44 p.m. on Saturday evening my time. This is the video for Sunday. The one with Aristo is up today. A really good conversation with Aristo, pointed out a bunch of good things. If you haven't listened yet, when you hear this, I encourage you to listen. I mean, Aristo is so full of wisdom and insights. I gained so much by doing the conversations with him, as well as the others that I do conversations with, but especially Aristo. Anyway, the title that I've selected today, and I only did it about 20 minutes ago, Small Gains and a Long Way Yet to Go. Noam Chomsky said, quote, "It's pretty ironic that the so-called least advantaged people are the ones taking the lead in trying to protect all of us, while the richest and most powerful among us are the ones who are trying to drive the society to destruction." End quote. I posted that quote on Facebook a bit ago with this comment of my own. Quote, "This might have something to do with the elite's eugenics program to wipe out most of the world's population, the ones they consider useless eaters. Whenever divine justice gets around to working, perhaps we will discover that they were the useless eaters and the boomerang will come back to them. Hopefully, when it does, they will repent and turn from their insane ways." End quote. As I see it, we made small gains awakening people. And as I said in the title, we have a long way yet to go. Am I wrong to desire a world where love and truth have more power and influence than fear and greed? Some people have the idea that everything is just fine the way it is. They look at the glass and it's half full, and perhaps I'm looking at it and seeing that it's three-quarters empty, or whatever. Someone posted on Facebook an image that said, I looked at it, it said good. Evil was hidden in the middle of the good. I didn't see the evil at first, but evil was right in the middle of the good. Good was what I saw first. Yet when I look at the world, and I thought of this when I commented that I saw good first, when I look at the world, I don't see the good first. I see what remains to be done. And what remains to be done is the disempowerment of corporations worldwide, the wherever possible, the total elimination of corporations. One thing that should never be is a government. No government should ever be a privately owned for-profit corporation. Never. I mean, it's insane to set up a government in that manner. Unless, of course, the purpose of setting up the government is to control the world, which is exactly the world that we live in. And it is the shadow elements, the dark elements, that control the world. Because it's the dark elements that control you and me when we do not do the shadow work and make peace with the dark parts of ourselves, the greedy parts of ourselves, the fearful parts of ourselves, the parts of ourselves that are insane. And we all have that part. That insane part is in all of us. And that's why I say we've made small gains, because there are people like Aristo and myself and others that are doing the work of healing the shadow as best we can by embracing what other people are running away from, by acknowledging the truth, our truth, that sometimes we're pissed at God and we're wanting divine justice and divine intervention. We're wanting something to happen that will make a difference. Because truthfully, as I see it, now it's just how as I see it, and you don't have to agree with me. And you don't even have to listen. But I'm trying to get people to understand that we have a responsibility to love those parts of ourselves and heal those parts of ourselves that have been wounded and broken off and fragmented and disowned for eons of time, generation after generation. This has been human history. And we need to recognize that that's why the world has been the way it is. You look at Jesus came 2,000 years ago. You look at Buddha came 3,000 years ago or 2,500 years ago. You look at Muhammad 1,200 years ago, whatever, whatever it was, 1,200, 1,300 years ago. You look at the Lao Tzu and the people that our religions are named after. They had great insights. Did anything actually change? No, nothing changed. Nothing in the way the world works politically changed because we haven't dealt with the real issue. The real issue is for the people, us, to wake up and to embrace all of ourselves. People get mad at me. Again, somebody wrote again today, people that get mad at God are immature. Their implication, they're nuts. Ron, you're nuts for getting mad at God. Well, look, God is me. God is you. And God is not only us, God is beyond us. God is the super ego part, the super self, the prime force, the prime creator. And I can't believe that prime source, prime creator would not have had a plan to turn everything around. Now, Aristo says it can go either way. And truthfully, it can still go either way. I would rather not believe that timeline 2 is the one that's going to occur. I'd rather have timeline 1, which is the positive, the uplifting timeline, the creation of heaven on earth. A world that works for everyone, especially those that love, especially those that are willing to tell the truth, especially those that are willing to go the extra mile, to do what it takes for everybody. It's not just self-centeredness of thinking of, can I create a mindset for myself that I can experience peace? And if I can do that, then that's all that matters. I've done my part. I've created peace for me. Well, what about for everybody else? And you say, but Ron, you can't control what other people do. And that's the point. You're right. I cannot control what other people do. But we're not going to, in my opinion, ever get beyond where we are now. And it will get worse, not better. If we don't do anything, it will get worse. If we ignore it, and don't deal with it square on and call it what it is, it will only get worse because we have insane people running the world. We have companies like Nestle that now wants to patent a plant so that anybody that uses that plant will have to pay them royalties. This is insane. This is insane. It's insane of companies like Archer Daniel Midland or whatever, and DuPont and Monsanto and others that are genetically modifying our food and trying to own genes and own seeds and patent seeds that they're putting insecticide in and other poisons. Give me a break. Can you not see the insanity of our world? Can you not see that as long as we have privately owned corporations running our governments, we're not going to resolve the issues that we're dealing with as a human family? We're just simply not. We have a long way to go. Yes, lots of people are waking up. Yes, there are positive signs, like people are starting to bring banks into common law courts. And no bank can win in a common law court. They can't win. That's why they don't have common law courts in the United States, for the most part, in the rest of the world, where they're being established. But for the most part, they've been admiralty courts. They've been courts that are operating under military law. They're not courts that operate based on truth. In fact, real law, and real truth have no bearing in an admiralty court. No bearing whatsoever. which is why it's stupid to learn all the remedies, because all they do in those courts is ignore them. Now, there are exceptions. There are exceptions. There are times that there are federal judges that rule on behalf of constitutional law, but for the most part, constitutional law means nothing. There's still great strides that need to be taken. And these are the things that I look at. And it's why in the beginning of this year of 2014, I'm still feeling a lot of frustration. I'm feeling a lot of frustration that after 3 years of doing videos, I still haven't seen some of the most important and the most significant changes that I was expecting to see 3 years ago in 2011. I was expecting it to happen by the fall of 2011. I really was. I expected massive visible changes by the end of the 9th wave, or at least by the end of that year. And they didn't happen. And then in 2012, the only significant thing that happened was the OPPT. That was the most significant thing that happened in the entire year. The most significant thing. And still a lot of people don't even do it. And even the people that brought us the OPPT fell down on the job. They did not carry it forward. Swiss Indo, it looked like they were going to bring it forward in 2013. That's what I thought. That's what many people thought. It didn't happen yet. Now, 2014, I don't know where it's going to go. There's a long way yet to go before my dream of a world that works for everybody manifests. Am I insane? Am I crazy for expecting heaven on earth? For expecting God to honor the promises that are made throughout our world religions to establish peace on earth? Am I wrong to want that, to desire that, to have that as my passion? If you think I'm wrong, then why are you listening? Why are you listening? Because that's not going to change. That's my reason for being here. Take everything else, the relationships, wealth, anything that for me, it doesn't matter. None of it matters if I can't live on a planet in a world that works for the people, and get out of this criminal corporate system that is absolute neurotic, insane, pathological. I mean, sociopathic. It's craziness. When are we going to wake up and change it? Or when is heaven going to help us? Whether that comes in the form of angels reaping a harvest or creating some kind of an extraterrestrial event, I don't know what's going to happen, but it's going to have to take something to get us the rest of the way. We've made great progress as far as waking people up. People know now. They know that something's wrong. Almost everybody on the planet, if they have any brains and heart at all, realize that something is wrong. Something is seriously wrong with our world. Congress and governments are spinning their wheels and not going anywhere positive. In fact, it often seems like they're going in the opposite direction. They're getting worse, not better. Now, do they know that their time is running out? Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Because you would think if they knew that their time was running out, they'd throw in the towel. But they don't throw in the towel. Why? Because nobody makes them. Because nobody enforces the truth. Nobody calls them on their bullshit. And they get away with it again and again and again. Wow, I just realized how close I was to that camera. Which is why I backed off. Anyway, this is my video for tomorrow, for Sunday, the 19th of January. I thought of a few more things, but I'm not going to go in those. I'll leave them, go for another video. Thank you for listening. Please, please, pray for the peace of the world. Thank you. Namaste.